Hey, how are you guys? Funny being here on our ButchFemmeDiscussion channel. Didn't imagine I would be here, but I've been asked over and over again. So, the discussion, my understanding, is 3. You know what? I'm gonna get it wrong, right? 3 moments in your life that was life-changing. So I've got my 3. My first thing that happened in my life that was life-changing. My mom died in 1991. Yeah. My mom died in 1991. I had 4 children. My oldest child was 17. My youngest child was 15. My oldest child was 17. The next one under him was 15. The next one under him was my daughter, who is my best friend, and who is an actual foundation in my life. She was 11, just 11. My youngest child was 4, which means my youngest child doesn't really have a recollection of my mom, his grandmother. He knows what she looks like. I have plenty of pictures. It was a life-changing time. I was an officer, a peace officer for the Taxi and Limousine Commission in New York. I don't know exactly how many years I had been there at this point. I was in my 30s. Yeah, I was in my 30s then. And I had just really become responsible, actually. You know, I'd had my earlier years of hanging out and doing my own thing in my 20s. And when I came into my 30s, my mom is the one who said that I need to get myself a foundation. And it was her. It was her who decided that I need a city job with benefits and insurance and this, that, and the other. And she wasn't going to be here. See, I'm basically an only kid. And so my mom like really looked out for me. My best friend. I can't say my mentor because I didn't mentor from my mom. But, you know, she loved me unconditionally, and she made sure that if I messed up or I screwed up, that she had my back, even if I didn't think she had my back. So in May of 1991, when she died of ovarian cancer. That was the first major change in my life. This was the change that I realized that no one's going to have my back. I mean, no one is going to love me unconditionally. No one is going to accept me however I am. No one is going to, you know, the nights after the after-hour club, nobody's going to bring me a meal. No one is going to let me come lay in their house and sleep when I messed up. No one is going to, like, physically look out for my children like my mother did. It all came into play, all the things that she taught me, all the things that she said. And the life-changing thing that happened was I had a nervous breakdown. And at this point, I had become more, I want to say mother needy, but I have to say female needy. You know, at this point, I started clinging on to female friends. At this point, I started wilding out, actually. Eventually, I lost my job, but I really started wilding out. Yeah, because I didn't think I was rooted in the first place, but I guess I had become more than I would have had she not been here. So I really acted the ass, and I realized that nobody's gonna help me raise my daughter, who was only 11, and who's gonna help me with my son, who was outrageous, and he was 17, and how was my baby gonna know her? And like, they weren't gonna have a grandmother. I couldn't imagine. You know, I couldn't imagine. So that was my first life-changing. Changed enough that I wound up a recluse. I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. I totally mentally unbalanced, and I developed a rage. Yeah, a rage. Next one. Summer, August of 1992. My mom was gone. She died in May. Now it's August of 1992, and I'm out. I'm closet out. I wasn't closet before, but now I am rainbow everywhere. I am rainbow everywhere. I am working in the clubs and nannies that was in Manhattan. I am on boat rides. I got girlfriends with girlfriends. I'm going from place to place, doing all kinds of wild stuff. And August 1992, you know, I'm cussing like mother made you, mother, and I ain't got to do. And I found out that, you know, sexual orientation don't mean anything. The same thing that's on the heterosexual side is on the homosexual side. Hustling is hustling. Players are players. And coming over to that side thinking that women would treat you better because they're women was not true. Women are rogues. And they wear jeans, they wear dresses, they wear skirts. They're pretty, they're not pretty, you know what I'm saying? So that was my next August 1992, all out. Didn't have no parent that it made a difference to. My kids were still my kids. And I was like, I'm out. I'm out. Life changing. September 2004, my grandmother died. September 2004. My mother's mother. She was 92 years old. Life-changing. My grandmother died and I realized I am really the matriarch of our family. The women were gone. The women were gone. My mother's side of the family, the women were gone. And I was it. I now had to take care of my uncle, raise my own children by myself. I had to learn how to cook real meals. I couldn't go and ask anybody for any money or any help if I couldn't get myself together. I had to learn about insurance. I mean, all these things were coming anyway from when my mother died. But I now was doing funeral arrangements, and I was taking care of my uncle who was schizophrenic. I was learning how to distribute medication. I had to be a strict parent, and stop letting everybody else help me do my kids. I had to listen to the other elder women. I had to develop a foundation for my children. I had to stop being a life of the party, and I didn't know where to go for help. This is where I went. I went to my grandmother's Bible. This is not my grandmother's Bible. I went to my grandmother's Bible. I went to my mother's Bible. I went to church. I started going to a non-denominational church. I started reading more. I started listening to my insides more. I learned what a Holy Spirit actually was. I started going to parenting classes. I had to learn about schizophrenia in order to take care of my uncle. I had to learn about medications and talk to doctors. I took on a more adult approach to things. I started listening. I started calling on the Lord. And then that turned around, and this was 2004. By 2005, I started rethinking my decisions as a lesbian. And I started thinking priorities and what I wanted for the rest of my life. And I started thinking, what is it do I need? And I needed structure, and I needed knowledge, and I needed to slow down. I needed to slow my roll. And I didn't see any friends. I didn't have anyone around me that seemed like they were going in the same place. So I had to give my life. I had to give my life, submit my life to Christ, and find another way. Those are my life-changing. 1991, I had to give up being a Toys R Us kid. 1992, I had to pick up being a lesbian, all-girl out kid. And 2004, I had to make way for the woman in me that was coming to the forefront. Yeah. I hope that was informative. It's a pleasure to be here on this Thursday. And I'm sorry if I'm too late in the day or if I am late in the day. You guys have a great, great day. I love you, and God bless. Later.